have a listen to this. Got propeller sounds, possibly multiple propellers, at 040, which in our from our present position. Let me try that again. From our present position on present course. What's that contact? Somewhere along this line, which if I had to guess based on how loud it is, I'd say it's maybe out here somewhere, which leads me to believe that our convoy friends have perhaps made a little turn, or this could be a different ship, who knows, are headed more or less this way. So based on that assumption, we are going to surface and do everything we can to overtake. And we've spotted them. Bearing 065. Destroyer. Okay. Which is turning towards us. Not good. Don't. Turn away and see what happens. Nope, they've seen us. Damn. Not great either. Look for the deepest water in the area and take her down. Well, that's not the most ideal situation. Whole convoy is plainly visible right over there, though. So that's good. See if we can have a little looky and get a course on them. Oh god, slow down. Come on, slow down. There we go. Cargo.
Kontakt, Kriegsschiff, kommt näher auf 7,5, große Entfernung. Kontakt, Frachter, entfernt sich auf 7,1,
The whole thing could be maneuvering evasively, so that's actually not a suitable thing to be going by. What's the status on our destroyer friend here? This thing here. Frigate, whatever. What does it do? Not much. Put on some speed, get a little distance between us and where we were while it's still far enough away that it's not too likely to hear us. And we'll pop the scope down. Just kind of hide for a bit, I think. 2 more ships up here. Possibly patrolling along here, something like that. Could be. Ooh. Yeah, I know we got loads of sound contacts. Not new to me. What we need to do is get out of visual range because we'll never overtake the convoy submerged. Want to get so bloody close into the coastline, but have to. Let's have another look. Yeah, there's the convoy, and there's our friend. What is our friend up to, though? You have possibly resumed position in the formation. Okay. Well, we can get just a little further away from the convoy. We should be able to surface. Then I'm just going to run at flank speed for a bit and try to get ahead of it. Love to get some kind of an accurate assessment of the convoy's course, though. But they're pretty much out of sight now. Or not. Course is 06. 067? Something like that. For like that. It's not going to stay going that way though, so that's probably not very helpful reading. But as long as we're definitely... we're still a little close to them. Hang on. Let that just recede into the distance a little bit. That ship is still trying to find us, that's why. You bugger. Warship, very fast, closing 001. Okay, let's not get tunnel vision about this. Could be unrelated. Of course, it has to be just a beautiful day. And it would be nice if we could have a little less visibility to slink around with. I'll carry on trying to get us repositioned in front of the convoy and come back if I manage it. How about that? So either I've got some kind of rotten luck or there are gremlins on my boat. I surfaced us after managing to more or less slip away from that outermost escort of the convoy. Did have to stay under for a little bit because there were actually some torpedo boats zipping around up to the north of us, but they've bogged off now. I surfaced. We went to a head flank at 10:27. At 10:30, hooked the starboard engine. But at least it's not destroyed, so that's under repair, and I've gone back to a head full. But I want every bit of speed I can possibly have to overtake this ship. Or, well, overtake this convoy, rather. So let's see how that goes. Well, fix it, please. It's standard? Anyway, we'll see what we can do. Okay, so this is something. We've got a large merchant running parallel to the convoy. And I'm really of two minds as to whether to attack it. Because it's right there, and it's a big target. Plus, we only have 2 forward torpedoes left. So, it really does make sense. Ooh. Yeah, and with the amount of damage that we'd be able to do to the convoy realistically with 2 torpedoes, we're only sinking 1 ship anyway, so... yeah, I think I'm going to go after this one. But what I'm actually going to do initially is turn away from it and try to set up a bit of an intercept. like that. Nope, doesn't see us. Please don't see us. Yeah, I don't think they have. Okay, all ahead flank. If I bust my other engine, we're really in trouble. So for that reason I head full. Okay, get rid of that. Bring us in this way. Chief engineer keeps saying stuff. Does that mean I'm... Uh-oh. Okay, now we have to slow down because I have actually cooked the starboard engine worse. And it's gonna take 6 hours to repair. Ugh. Okay, so we probably had to be slowed down or stopped in order to actually effect repairs on those engines. Great. Well, we will keep our damage control team on it for now. And just run at standard speed, I suppose. And do what we can to overtake this. Yeah. Well, we need to get a lot closer, so... yeah. My force estimate was a bit buoy, though. Or like that. Set us up to be nice and square with it. Get us within 1 kilometer would be nice. Yeah. That being said, we've got to be coming into its visual range, so let's dive now before we push our luck any further. Come on, take her down. Oh, except we can't see through our scope. That's okay. Give me a nice 90-degree angle. 90 is more like that, okay? Yeah, now we're picking up the convoy. Figures. Alright, we're way ahead of that ship, so we'll reduce our speed. Second ship. Oh. Oh, maybe down there? Another one? Boy, this is a busy area. I guess it would be. I'll stop. Where are you, buddy? There. And I recognized it immediately as a large merchant, so we'll whack that in right away. Medium cargo, Liberty cargo, large merchant. Because I got us on a nice solid angle to it, we will set up our AOB right away. For everything else, we'll let it get closer. Yeah, merchant closing bearing 091. No big deal.
Wir bleiben weitergetaucht. Auf 120 Grad gehen.
Keep coming. That ship is not going very fast. My initial guess would be 5 knots, maybe 6 at the very most. Fine, but radio message. We probably shouldn't be receiving those underwater. Naval staff extends the order forbidding surface approach and search of shipping in the North Sea to include the area west of the Orkneys. Okay. Well, I'm already abiding by the previous orders we received not to engage in gun actions with merchants. Presumably that gets lifted fairly soon, though. I had to guess. What's the status on our engine repair? 8 hours. We're just gonna have to go and stop somewhere, aren't we? You can't shut it down to work on it? I don't know if there's... yeah, really a means by which we can do that. Come closer so I can get an accurate speed reading. Ship is 155 meters long. Okay, that should do for an angle. Wow. And we are at a dead stop, so we should get a nice accurate speed reading out of this. Come on. Turn. There. 5 knots. Bit less. We'll call it 5, though. I think. And let's get an initial range, even though it's going to get closer. We'll take another one right before we shoot. 2,668 meters. We are going to get way closer than that, so no worries there. Our best gyro angle to shoot at is going to be about there. So we'll let it just come on in. And you know what, just because we can, there's, oh, hang on, it's because there's so much time, we'll do another speed reading. And also set up our torpedoes. We will do, what's the best spot to shoot a ship like this? A large merchant. You want to hit it? Okay. I think I'll put one under the mast, one under the forward mast, and one in the engine room. In that case. Draft is 8.9 meters. Nyeh. We'll keep the torpedoes running nice and shallow and use impact pistols. Just for reliability is mainly why I want to do that. As long as it's deep enough to be underneath the waves. And we're good. Stern's just about coming through. That puts her speed just above 5 knots. Well, if those are in conflict, let's do one more. Just because we can. Moving so slowly that it hardly matters. That one turns out to be also just a bit over 5, so we will hang on to that reading. We'll take one more range and budge downwards slightly with it. 1,800 meters, she is not that far away. Problem is there's a bit of aliasing going on with the masts. Well, at any rate, I'm gonna call it more like 1,500 to be honest. He is still all good. Alright, let's let the gyro angle come down. We'll take one last range reading, and then we'll shoot. Let's make it here. Something like that. Yeah, so my 1500 I think will do. Okay, let's open up tube 2. Gyro angle hit 0, or actually above 3. Ooh, high speed, please. Opening tube 3. Yeah. Oh, that changes our gyro angle. You know what? I think my AOB is a little bit off. Call it that. Put one under the mast. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that bow angle is kinda screwy. I think the ship might even be turning. We're pretty much assured of some hits, though. One impact. Ooh, what about this one? Ah, it's gonna run under! Bugger! Well... Pooh.
Sollen wir helfen?
Give me speed.
Ruhe! Halten Sie die Klappe und seien Sie leise. Sie haben später noch genug Zeit zum Quatschen.
And the stern tube isn't loaded, because of course it isn't. We haven't been able to actually reload torpedoes on the surface. I've actually had to dive in order to load them, so that'll be why. Probably also going too fast for it. I may end up disobeying that order about gun actions with merchant ships. Just saying. Yeah, we have to be going slower to reload the stern tube. Torpedo missed? You don't say. At this speed. Okay, why is it not? Hang on. Do we not have enough crew in there? Because, oh boy, I can fix that. Oh. Get some torpedo specialists in there too. Just because why not? Be quick! Still not loading the stern tube? What? Am I missing something? Or is there... Why isn't that working? Still... Huh. Well, I don't know what I might be missing. If anyone's pulling their hair out, insisting that there's something that I have missed, then by all means tell me, because I'm kind of out of ideas. And... Well, she's actually looking like she might be listing a decent bit from that hit earlier. Let's just keep an eye on her for now and see what happens. Okay, so in answer to the torpedo issue, it seems it works if we go below periscope depth, so whether or not one can reload torpedoes is dependent on surface conditions when one's on the surface, but I guess you just have to be far enough underneath that they have absolutely no bearing on what can be done. In any case, that's what's happening. The large merchant is dipping pretty low in the water, but they almost seem to have righted it. It hasn't dipped any lower in a while, so if by the time we get that torpedo loaded she's still in this sort of condition, we will shoot it with the stern tube. Oh, good grief. So I just reloaded the stern tube, and I wasn't really paying attention to this other sound contact that was out here, which is evidently a merchant. So, let's have a look. When I've used up all my torpedoes, that just serves up targets to us on a silver platter. Hey, come up a bit, please. 0. Aha, it's a small merchant of some kind. We may end up violating the order not to engage in gun actions with merchant ships, because I would very much like to sink both of these if the opportunity presents itself, if it wouldn't be too much trouble. Let's see about this. Yeah, small merchant. That's the one. Because I can either shoot this with my stern tube and sink the large merchant with my deck gun, or the other way around. I'm going to do one of these things. Speed. Probably about 7 knots. Yeah. You know what? If we're gonna disobey orders anyway, neither of these ships is armed. Yeah. No one tell Admiral Donitz.
Große Fahrt voraus.
We're just gonna shoot them both. Big whoop. And we'll do it quickly because there are a fair number of patrol craft in this area, so far as I've been able to tell from any of my hydrophone readings. So, crew! I want you in a surface attack posture. This includes... I didn't realize they were that rough! Oh. Sometimes you just can't win. Okay, well, we'll finish off the large merchant with the stern tube then. If we've only got one torpedo to play with. I am in a state of pain. And the other ship's gonna be alerted to our position, so we'll have to run like the wind once we do this, but yeah. The ship basically isn't moving. Range, no more than 1,000 meters. Speed, bugger all. AOB, something like that.
Alle Maschinen stopp. Alle Maschinen Ruder 0 Grad.
Call it a knot and a half, maybe 2. Yeah. Okay. Well, without further ado, put this torpedo as shallow as I can, just in case it runs deep. And AOB's more like right on now. Is it really going that slow? Let's aim just ahead of it, shall we? With whatever our final reading is. Did I turn it on? Yep. Yeah, that'll do.
Rohr 5. Los. Torpedos abgefeuert.
Almost gonna be a little bit far ahead. It ran deep again. And there is nothing I can do about it now. External reserves are gone. What's this other ship? Another. Ah! Just move on. Just move on. Pretend none of this ever happened. And, well, only our 2 external torpedoes left. We might as well start heading back to Germany at this point, and if we bump into anything on the way back, that's just a bonus. So, yeah. I'm at a loss for words other than good grief. Well, as I was sailing away, under fairly heavy time compression, I got the notification that the large merchant actually did succumb to its wounds and sink eventually. So, the strain of bad luck is not quite as... Yeah. My slide into comedy is not as ridiculous as it might initially have seemed. Well, as a small consolation, it seems that the little torpedo disaster that we had there has not been unique to me. We have received a message dated 1939, 10:31. Is it? It is October 31st, 1939. Well, means that I will be born in exactly 59 years. Do that math if you want to. Anyway, one merchant sunk for 6,000 tons, had 4 torpedoes malfunction with the use of contact pistols, BF 7832. Out of curiosity. That's over... that's an interesting place to be operating, but... At any rate, the torpedo issues have not strictly been restricted just to me. Sea is still very much too rough to be reloading externals, and once again we're proceeding on our course back home. Funny this, we've heard from U-25 about torpedo failures again. 4 failures at one-stop ship, shots at short range, torpedo inspectorate's instructions observed, CG-22. Yeah, I think the torpedoes running deep is a pretty serious problem at this point, and I'm hoping it gets fixed soon. Another radio message, since there's nothing else to do but read on the way home. 1939, 1st of November, BDU. Due to losses to mines, the proliferation of mining by both sides in the English Channel, and the proliferation of mining by both sides in the English Channel, this shortcut to the operational area is henceforth abandoned. U-boats are to travel through the North Sea to access the Atlantic. Which we've been doing anyway, but now it is officially forbidden, so we definitely won't be doing it in the future. Even though, being this early in the war, I have very much been wanting to be fairly aggressive, hence why we've spent so much time in the Irish Sea and places like that. But we can still do that even without using the English Channel, I suppose. We're still almost straight north of Scapa Flow at this point, still en route back to Germany. Weather is still god-awful, That's about it.
Schiff gesichtet. Lage 6-1. Große Entfernung.
Well, a gloomy day, a Type 2 U-boat, and some suspiciously orange smoke from a factory that we'll try not to look at greet our return to Wilhelmshaven. It appears that we are meant to be in the central one again, since that's where they've struck up the band and where the... Hang on. Is there a party going on in both of these? Am I just supposed to pick one or what? Well, there's a bigger party in the middle one, so I'm gonna go for the middle one. There's a U-boat under construction. How about that? And of course, once again, we are going to back into our parking spot. So, left rudder.
Ruder hart Backbord.
Ah. Okay, I'll speed it up a little bit. Impatient. Ooh, I should have made that turn a little sooner, I think.
Kleine Fahrt zurück. Ruder 0 Grad.
Ugh. I don't remember how to take that down though. So it would probably be bad form. Someone might. Don't.
Große Fahrt zurück.
Get
Große Fahrt zurück.
get the lead out, guys. Yeah, man. Okay, right rudder. Ooh, are we cutting that a little tight? No. We'll see how it goes. Now we'll not use the external view because oh my god. I think we'll get away with it. Yeah. Whew. That was a bit of a clench. Applause. Congratulations, you backed into your parking spot. Seems not everyone can do it, so yeah, well, an achievement worth applauding, I guess. They might not clap quite so much when they find out the slightly lackluster results of our patrol, but what are you gonna do? All engines stop.
Alle Maschinen stopp. Alle Maschinen stopp.
Rudder amidships.
Ruder 0 Grad.
And we'll see if she manages to come to a stop on her own or if she needs some persuading. I'm gonna give it some persuading today.
Kleine Fahrt voraus. Kleine Fahrt voraus.
And stop.
Alle Maschinen stopp.
Yeah.
Alle Maschinen stopp.
Well, boat doesn't look too much the worse for wear. I didn't scratch the rust or anything. Although the underside from that time we ran aground might be a different story. We'll see how that turns out, but shh. I'm going to save just in case before we do our exit. Or actually, no, can't do that. I have to go exit patrol. Dock at Wilhelmshaven. Okay, let's see the end results in the slightly not so legible text. So, we began the patrol October 19th, 1939, which I believe is both International Men's Day and World Toilet Day. I think someone might have meant that as some kind of a slight, but we ended November 7th, 1939, starting and ending in Wilhelmshaven. Yeah, U-boat Type 7, blah, 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 blah. Sunk one merchant ship for 10,000 tons and change, so that would be the large merchant, and one warship, which would be that light cruiser, also for 10,000 and a bit tons, so not a lot of ships, but the ones we did hit were pretty major prizes, plus we did manage to hit and presumably do at least some damage to HMS Hood, even though we didn't sink it, so there's that. other than that, our hull integrity is 98, so I actually didn't bang it up too bad on the bottom of the sea there. Renown received is 72.35. And the crew got some medals, so we'll have to hand those out. Did I get any? Of course not. Still have my P-38 though. Ooh. And this thing with all the... Blah. So, crew, personal... Oh yeah. Personal or personnel? Personal. Wow. No promotions to give out. Oh, but we do actually have a qualification. Well, I know who's getting that. You are going to be a torpedo man. Because that would just be really helpful for when we're submerged and he's just sitting down here with nothing to do. That's something I definitely wanted to do. So, who doesn't have a U-boat front clasp yet? Blah. Well, given the manner in which our weapons officer created a bit of a strange... Well, I guess that wasn't necessarily his fault. I don't know. I was a bit puzzled as to who to give my medals to. Oh, you don't have a war badge yet? Well, as I said in the previous patrol, I want the guy standing on the bridge with me to have as many medals as possible, just for the sake of appearances. Medic didn't really have to do anything. Sonar and radio both already have these. Well, and our torpedo man already have them, so I just have to kind of hand these out. Thanks for cooking the engines, guys. I only ran them on the head flank for 3 minutes. Yeah. I'm trying to think who really deserves medals, though, because not that many great things happened on this patrol, to be honest. Who gets the Iron Cross? Well, I don't know. Let's hand out some front clasps to our... Just to the rank and file, just because we can. Do any of you lads have an Iron Cross yet? No, but I don't know if you particularly deserve them either. Wow. Know what? Let's give you an Iron Cross. And you get an Iron Cross, so that we have lots of medals standing on the bridge. Also, the watch crew did much better in this patrol at spotting things further away than in the last one. Purely a result of the mods that I installed, but for the sake of immersion, we'll pretend that they just got good. 24:18. Is there much that I can do with that yet? Nope. Yeah. Hey! Actually not doing too bad in terms of tonnage overall at this point. Personal... Where's... Oh, hang on. Ah! There we go. Back into the office with no ceiling. Cubicles. Or maybe we're all in a giant warehouse and the Gestapo's standing on a giant podium looking down at all of us. Still only a Type 7 U-boat available. Even if the Type 9 should become available, I might stick with the old 7 for a while yet. Weapons, yeah, nothing new. Torpedoes, I think it's given us all Type 1s for the next patrol, which I'm perfectly fine with. They're just not very reliable at this point. We already have the newest model of hydrophone, and we can't do an emblem, which makes me a bit sad. When do things start? Type 9 should really be becoming available almost immediately, but I am very much, that being said, open to input on the future of this career, whether we do want to get a Type 9 as soon as we can, whether maybe we might want to transfer to a different flotilla and run a 7C for a while, especially once the fall of France happens and we get access to those ports. One decision I'm pretty much inclined to take unilaterally, unless there should be any tremendously strenuous objections to it, is that I would like to, using Silent Hunter 3 Commander, put a fairly substantial amount of time in port between our early patrols. And I would like to do this because, well, really, the amount of challenge in the early stages of the war isn't that high, and it really starts to ramp up later on. And if we can zip through that kind of quickly, we can get to perhaps some more, well, to the stage of the war where I would be able to produce some more exciting content. So I think that's going to be pretty much how things are going to go. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in the next patrol, I hope. Which will be coming along quite soon, I promise, this time. Will not be waiting 2.5 years again. So, yeah, that's for sure. I have been Mr. 6060, playing Silent Hunter 3. And, well, yeah, that's it for the second patrol. See you in the next one. Toodaloo.